So write down the today's topic, revision of basics. I hope I am audible to all. So write down the today's topic in your notebook, revision of basics. So I will start from the topic list. So you know that list is a data object which contains multiple data items. So a list is a object which contains multiple data items. Each item is stored in a list is also called a element. You should keep on responding that whether my voice is reaching at you or not. Each item stored in a list is also called an element. Can you hear me, Om Bagresh?
Yes, sir.
Prince Gate?
Yes, sir.
Vishal?
Yes, sir.
Suryam?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Where is Mehul? Mehul is gone. So each item stored in a list is also called an element. Here I am creating a list, for example, even numbers. And inside the square bracket I am writing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you know that we can create a list with the help of square brackets, and the items or the elements are separated by comma. So the elements in a list are enclosed in a square bracket. And each element is separated by a comma. So write down this above list contains numbers separated by a comma. Let's take another example. For example, names is equal to Vishal, Mehul, Suryam, Pankaj, and Prince. So this is an example of list of strings. This statement creates a list of the string. The above statement creates a list of strings. You know that a string is represented by double quotes or single quote. So in Python you can represent strings either in single quote or in double quotes. So each string is separated by a comma. So in this case, in this statement, you are creating a list of numbers. Number does not have single quote or double quotes. And in this example, strings are stored in a list, and a string is represented by either single quote or double quote. And the list items are separated by comma. Have you written this in your notebook, Suryam? Suryam? Hello? Suryam? Om?
Yes, sir. Written.
So whenever you are attending the class, you should wear your school uniform and show me your face so that I can understand whether you are attending in a live class or not. Because if you keep on the camera or a mobile keep on and then you go somewhere else, then you will not get what I am teaching to you. So next time if you are attending the class, please wear your school uniform and show me your face. Otherwise it is difficult for me whether the student is attending the class or not, because Suryam is not responding.
वो कनेक्शन चले गया था धोखे से, so actually connection is gone.
Okay. So these are the two examples. I create two lists here, even numbers list, and in this list I stored numbers separated by comma, and another list names which contain strings separated by comma. This you already know. I just want to revise the concepts you have learned in class 11th. Now write down the heading repetition operator. Repetition operator. So repetition operator makes multiple copies of your list. Multiple copies of your list and join them together. You know about repetition operator, that asterisk symbol is called a repetition operator, and this operator you can also apply on the strings. When you apply this operator on the string, you will get multiple items of same string. Means if you apply a asterisk operator on a string, suppose Mohan into 5, then Mohan will appear 5 times on the screen. So this repetition operator also applied on the list. If you multiply a number with a list, then the list items are copied or joined together. For example, suppose there is a list 1 equal to 1, 2, 3, and if you multiply it by 5, what happens? The list contains 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 times. If you print list 1, you will get the output. Let's see the output. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 times on the screen. So repetition operator also works on list, not only on string, but you can also use repetition operator on the list also. So this 1, 2, 3 multiplied by 5 joins together 5 times in a list. So you should note down the output of this small code in your notebook. 1, 2, 3, 5 times. So it makes the 5 copies of the list and joins them together. Written?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You should maintain your classwork notebook with the date and the name of the topic. For example, today's date is 3rd July 2020. So you should put down the date and your classwork copy and the topic which has been taught in that particular date, so that you can easily maintain the index in your classwork notebook. Have you written all these things?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will test whether you understand this concept of repetition operator or not. Write down one question. What will be the output of the following code? Game start equal to so what will be the output? Vishal?
0 0 0 0.
Sir, 0 will print 10 times.
Yes. So in the form of a list with inside the square bracket 0 will appear 10 times. Let's run this program. So it is not printing anything. Why? So you can see in the output 0 appeared 10 times. So if you want to create a list of 10 items and you want to assign 0 to each item, then no need to write 0 10 times. You just multiply that list with 10. So in this way you can store multiple data items, same multiple data items in a list. So
Sir, but if we want to remove comma,
if in
sir, if we
okay,
want
if you want to
to
get the
remove comma,
output in the output, you want to display 0 without comma in the
yes, sir.
output screen. In that case, you can iterate over the list with the help of a for loop
Yes, sir.
or with the help of index. I will show you how to do that. But before that, you should note down the output of these two lines in your notebook. You can easily display each and every item separately with the help of for loop.
Sir, how to show output vertically?
With the help of print statement, because print prints each and every line in a separate line. I will show you. First, you write down this in your notebook. Have you written it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will solve your problem. Your problem is to display the list items in a separate lines and the list items without comma on the screen. So both your problem will be solved in my next explanation. So write down iterate over a list. Iterate over a list. So you can iterate over a list with the help of for loop. You know about the loop control statement, it executes the same statement again and again. So suppose there is a list n equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So you can iterate over this list with the help of for loop for x in n. For x in n means for each element in n. It means for 10, for 20, for 30, for 40 and for 50. What you want to do? You want to display the value on the screen. So if I write print x, so x is equal to 10, so 10 will be printed on the screen, and you know that print always display the value on the next line. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 will appear in separate line. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the output?
So 10, 20, 30.
So
40,
10,
3rd
20,
line
30, 40, 50.
50
10, 20, 30, 40 and 50
single
in
line.
separate lines or in a single line?
it's a separate
It's a
line.
separate
Separate line, because
Sir,
it executes the statement print x means 10, so 10 will be displayed on the screen. After that, value of x becomes 20, so again it is displaying 20 on the screen. But you know that whenever you call the print function, it always displays the value on the new line, on the next line. So these values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 will be displayed on separate line. Let's run this program. Run module, and you can see the output. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in separate lines. If I want to display the values in a single line, what will I do?
So just print. Simply you can print, sir. 10, 20, print.
No. If I write print x, then it always displays the value on the next line.
Sir, simply print 10, 20, 30, comma.
No, why I want to get the value from the list? Why I am directly write here 10, 20, 30, 40? Even if I write 10 here, it will display on the next line.
No, sir. So you can directly print, sir.
No, but in
So
that
you can
case,
directly
comma,
type print.
I don't want to display comma on the screen.
Sir, okay, you can directly sir, print, then bracket, then 10, 20, 30,
double
40,
slash
50,
and
60, single line.
Okay, there are many ways to access the list
double slash
elements.
and
For example, maybe you remember it or not, that if you want to display the value on the same line, you can use and equal to
Sir,
this AND
bracket.
operator. So this AND operator will not move the cursor on the next line. So AND is means space. AND is not new line character. So the end of this statement becomes a space. So in this case, if you run this program, you can see the output on the same line without square bracket and comma. So both the code you should write down in your notebook. If you don't want to display the value on the separate lines, then you can use this code. The above code can be used if we don't want to print the values on separate lines. The AND operator prevents the values to be printed on next line. You can have any character with this AND operator. For example, if you write comma here, then what will happen? Comma will appear after each value. You can see. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, comma is there. So this AND operator is useful if you want to end the line with any separator, comma or any character. Even if I write ABC, so the ABC will appear after each and every value. You can see 10 ABC, 20 ABC, 30 ABC, 40 ABC, 50 ABC. So you can have any AND character. After printing the value, you can have any AND character. By default, it prints the value on the new line. So write down the above code can be used if you don't want to print the values on separate lines. The AND operator prevents the values to be printed on next line. Written?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm erasing all these things. So write down indexing. So you can access individual elements in a list with an index. So each element in a list has an index that specifies the position in the list. Has an index that specifies its position in the list. Suppose there is a list 1 equal to 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66. Suppose this is a list. So each element has an index number. For example, this element has an index 0. Index starts from 0. You should note down index starts from 0. Okay. So you can access elements with the help of index also. In the previous example, I accessed the elements with the help of for loop, but you can access with the help of index also. Suppose you want to print all these values on the screen. All elements of a list on screen. So with the help of index, you can do this. You write print and then you can write list 1 and then index in the square bracket list 1 0, then list 1 1, then list 1 2 like this, then list 1 3 and list 1 4. So how many elements are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the last index will be, what will be the last index? Hello?
So 5.
5, because only
It's
6
a 5.
elements are there and index begins from 0. So last element's index is 5. So in this way you can access the list elements. List 1 and inside the square bracket 0. List 1 0 means first element. List 1 1 means second element. List 1 2 means third element and so on. So in this way also you can access the elements of a list. You know that with the help of triple quotes you can write multi-line comments. So I am converting all those nodes in multi-line comments so that I can execute this code. So what will be the output of this code? Hello?
So 11,
So
22,
11, 22,
33,
33,
44,
44,
44,
55,
55.
Yes.
66.
Yes. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55 and 66 will display on the screen. So write down in your notebook also the output. Name error, list 1 is not defined. Why? Okay, this I have to copy here. Okay, now I am executing. So you can see 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 55 and 66 without comma. So your problem is solved. If you want to display list elements without comma and square bracket, you have two ways. Either you can iterate over a loop with the help of for loop, iterate over a list with the help of for loop, and you can directly access the elements with the help of its index. If you don't want to write index again and again 0, 1, 2, 3, you can increase the index, and inside the for loop you can call print list1, and inside the square bracket you can type the name of that variable. How to do it? How to iterate over this list with the help of a for loop and display the values using index? Let's see an example. First you should note down these two lines and the output in your notebook. Have you written it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I am erasing it and write down iterating iterate list iterate over a list by for loop. Suppose there is a list numbers. Numbers is equal to, these are the numbers. Now with the help of for loop, first you write one variable. Here I am declare one variable index is equal to 0, suppose. So for x in range, and you can type length function. You know that length returns the number of items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Length of numbers, and then you can print numbers and index. So the value of index is 0. So numbers 0 means first element in the list. So 11 will be displayed on the screen. Inside the for loop you can increment the value of index plus 1. So index becomes 1. Again the for loop executes, so print numbers 1. So 1 means second element in the list. In this way you can iterate over the list with the help of for loop. So let's run this program. So you can see 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66 displayed on the screen. So with the help of index also you can access list elements. So this program and its output you should note down in your notebook. All these things we have learnt in class 11th. Just I am revising those concepts because in your syllabus revision of basics is there. Have you written all these things?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I want to display the values in a single line. What should I do?
Sir, and
Yes, very good.
yes.
So here you can use AND operator like this, AND equal to, if you want space between those values, you can use this AND operator. Now again running this program, so you can see the values are displayed in a single line. So this AND operator is very useful. If you want to display the values in a single line, then you can use this AND operator along with print statement values. So this is another way of accessing the list elements. You can access the list element directly with the help of for loop. For x in numbers like this, you can access the elements with the help of index. Index must be written inside the square bracket, name of the list, and index value inside the square bracket, not in round brackets. So you can access the elements with the help of index also. You can directly access the elements with the help of in operator also. So list has a negative index also. Write down. Have you written this program in your notebook? Hello,
Yes, sir.
friends.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where is Mehul? Mehul कहाँ चला गया? लगता है मेहुल का इंटरनेट बंद हो गया. Okay, so write down one more concept. You must remember that list has negative index also. The last element index is -1.
-1.
Okay. So it is used to identify element position relative to the end of the list. Write down one question. What will be the output of the following code? List 2 equal to 101, 104, 106, 109 and 117. If I print list 2 -3, so what will be the output?
So 106.
Yes, correct. So the last element's index is -1, then this is -2, this is -3. So answer is 106. Have you written this?
No, sir.
So it is called a reverse indexing also. Reverse indexing means the last element's index is -1, then second last element is -2, then third last element is -3 and so on. So this is also called a reverse indexing. So if you want to display the last value and if you don't know the index, then you can write simply the name of the list and inside the square bracket you pass one value, one index value -1. So -1 represents the last element in a list, means the position of last element. Though last element is also a length -1. Suppose this list has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So the last element's index is 5 -1 means 4, because index begins from 0. So 101 has 0 index, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So last element's index is 4, means the length of this list -1. So length means the number of elements present in a list. It is called list. How many elements are present? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So length -1 means 5 -1 means 4. The last element's index is 4 or -1, because reverse indexing is also allowed in Python. Have you written all these things?